And Jim, you have some very sad news.
Yes, we've been made aware. The FAA reported they lost contact with a Hendrick Motorsports airplane.
October 24th, 2004. A crisp autumn Sunday in Southern Virginia. NASCAR fans gathered at Martinsville Speedway for the Subway 500, unaware that a tragedy was unfolding in the skies above the Blue Ridge Mountains. What began as a routine flight to support one of racing's most successful teams would end in heartbreak and forever change the Hendrick Motorsports family.
3, 2, 1.
$11:57, the Concord Regional Airport in Concord, North Carolina. A Beechcraft Super King Air 200 departs on a quiet morning destined for the Blue Ridge Airport in Martinsville, Virginia. On board the airplane are 10 people, including a 2-person crew, members of the Hendrick Motorsports family, and racing associates. One of those passengers is Joseph Riddick Hendrick, more commonly known as Ricky. More than just a passenger, he's the son of the plane owner, Rick Hendrick. The elder Hendrick, a legendary NASCAR figure, has built one of the most impressive racing organizations the series has ever witnessed, collecting successful racing seasons and checkered flags that lead to championship trophies time and time again. The younger Hendrick is no stranger to racing or victory lane himself. Becoming a driver at age 15, he has accumulated wins in Legends cars, NASCAR late models, and the NASCAR Truck Series, before joining his father in an ownership role in the organization. The short flight went as planned, but as they approached Virginia, a low-level overcast system persisted throughout the region that required pilots to shoot a localizer 30 approach, a non-precision instrument approach that provides lateral guidance to pilots, helping them align their aircraft with the runway during landing. On the ground at Martinsville Speedway, the grandstands are packed with fans set to watch the 32nd race of the 36th race season. Ryan Newman would start from the pole position after setting a qualifying record 3/10 faster than the previous track record. The race would be full of excitement, with many lead changes between Newman, Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte, Casey Kane, and Tony Stewart over the first 100 laps. Back in the air, the Hendrick Motorsports aircraft was not having the same luck of things going as planned. Due to a plane landing ahead of them, the plane was forced to enter a hold at 4,000 feet over its initial approach. As the plane was turning outbound in its hold, air traffic control notified the pilots that they were clear for approach and to descend to 2,600 feet. The aircraft did not begin an immediate descent and continued at 4,000 feet. It passed the missed approach point at 2,600 feet and reached a minimum descent altitude of 1,400 feet as it overflew the airport. 1 minute and 13 seconds later, the plane began to climb and radioed air traffic control at 12:33 p.m. 9 seconds later, the aircraft would disappear from radar. In the race, Kevin Harvick, Rusty Wallace, and Matt Kenseth would trade the lead before Hendrick Motorsports drivers Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson would share their time leading the pack. While the race was going on, air traffic control reported the plane missing at 3 p.m. 911 was called as rescue and emergency crews patrolled the Virginia area. As the race was reaching its middle stages, a Civil Air Patrol search team searching nearby Bull Mountain Peak found airplane wreckage on the summit. Before drivers, crews, and those in attendance knew what was happening, a news ticker scrolled the tragic news.
Behind him, trying to take away the victory.
And both of them get by the, well, Rusty didn't quite.
Problem for him is that they haven't had any long runs here lately.
Yeah, they're not going to really get one now. They're not saving the brakes any longer.
No.
Everyone on board the Hendrick Motorsports plane had perished in a tragic incident. A search by local firefighters discovered a scar in a mountain that proved to be the initial impact, resulting in an explosion that blew the wreckage higher up the mountain. As the race came to a close, Hendrick Motorsports driver Jimmy Johnson would find himself taking the checkered flag. But there would be no celebration. Instead of champagne spraying and congratulatory high fives, NASCAR brought the Hendrick Motorsports personnel to its mobile operations trailer, where they detailed the tragic events. Gone were Ricky Hendrick, Rick Hendrick's brother, and Hendrick Motorsports president John Hendrick, along with his two twin daughters, Kimberly and Jennifer. Hendrick, general manager Jeff Turner, and chief engine builder Randy Dorton. DuPont executive Joe Jackson. NASCAR driver Tony Stewart's pilot, Scott Latham, and pilots Richard Tracy and Elizabeth Morrison. An investigation by the NTSB found pilot error as the root cause. From the plane missing in its initial approach and veering off course to not maintaining its assigned altitude. The following weekend at Atlanta Speedway, tributes poured out from a moment of silence to all the Hendrick cars carrying tributes on the hoods. Hendrick Motorsports would forever be changed. As tragic as this situation was, it would not be the last aircraft incident for the Hendrick Motorsports family. On Halloween evening of 2011, 7 years and 7 days following the Martinsville tragedy, a Gulfstream 150 registered to Jimmy Johnson Racing would lose its brakes and crash upon landing in Key West, Florida. On board were Rick Hendrick and his wife Linda. In the incident, Rick Hendrick would sustain a broken rib and a broken clavicle. His wife Linda would escape with cuts and bruises. Just earlier that year, in May of 2011, a 600-foot safety area had been added to the runway. Airport personnel would go on to speculate that had this addition not been there, the incident would have most likely been catastrophic. As I put this episode together today, it's 21 years to the date of the tragic events that happened at Martinsville Speedway. And it's a stark reminder of sometimes the dangers of racing are not only inside of a race car. Tragic events that have happened way too much in the racing series, from losing Alan Kulwicki in 1993, Davey Allison in 1993, the Hendrick family, friends and pilots. Recently, Scott Bloomquist. These are all tragedies that are part of the history and need to be remembered in so many ways. And one thing about the Hendrick family is they know how to remember. They know how to salute their family and friends who perished in this incident. From the backwards hat, pointing to the sky, they're a testament to keeping on and keeping the memory alive. And I hope before the green flag flies this weekend at Martinsville, everybody takes a moment just to remember all these people I listed and take in the great moments that they all gave us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As the race approaches, be well. We'll see the checkered flag.